Hello, well, I'm back in the workshop. I've had a failure with that bow, as I put on the other video that's out there. I went straight back into making another bow because I'm a great believer if you sit on something, things don't happen. And I was that despondent and feeling down about it because I'd invested so much time. There would have been a danger if I would have just walked away from that project. So I then cracked on the next day and made another bow. But I had a failure on that bow. So I then carried on with another stave. I had a failure on that bow. And then I had a failure on another one I made at about 11 o'clock at night. So my whole day was taken up making or trying to make an English longbow. I was feeling pretty dejected. I was, ready to throw it all in. It just was not going to happen for me. Basically, I gave it one more shot this morning and I have produced a bow that's pulling about 45 pounds of draw weight, and it's a reasonable representation of an English longbow. It's not the full spec as in a period bow, but it's of that genre, so I'm pretty happy. In fact, I'm ecstatic, and I'm just going to show you what I have to clean up before I go any further with this video. They always say a good workman cleans up after himself as he's working, but it was just too much disappointment to do that, so I just went straight through to see if I could actually produce this bow, and I went to bed that disappointed. I just did not actually get a decent night's sleep. I was fuming, but as it turns out, came out in the morning, and the stave I was able to produce a bow, and I'll show you that in a minute, like I said. But here's a quick look around the workshop, and I'm not tidy by any means, but as you can see, this is an absolute bomb site. Right, you can see the mess I've got here. There you go, I've got enough fire lighters and wood shavings to keep me going a lifetime. There's the three bows all split. The one's next to a stave that's been rejected because there was too many knots. And indeed that stave there had too many knots. I was in last chance saloon with the other one. But yeah, I've got tools lying everywhere. I've got to clean up this mess. It's literally gone everywhere. And indeed, I've got to get this back to a point where I can actually call it a usable workshop. So I've got some sanding into, shall we say, round off the actual top of the bow. But it's looking really nice. It's got a nice rounded back, leading to a flat belly. It's got a nice curve, and there's not too much distortion in the limbs as it's holding tension. I've put it on the tiller, and I've done a little bit of sanding just to help ease the actual curves. But when you're tillering is basically sanding off a limb which is either too stiff and making the opposite limb pull upwards, so you reduce the thickness on the less bent arm, and that allows them to pull evenly. Right, I've got some scales up there, and I've marked down the wall draw weights, and that basically is how far I pull the bow down, and I can then see how much poundage I'm having to pull to reach the actual draw weight in inches. You can see the bow itself is sitting quite nice. I have shaped it and taken a little bit off. I've done a small bit of tillering. So what I'm talking about is if this arm here was bending further up there than this one, you would shave off a corresponding amount here. Only fine sanding indicate maybe just the case to release tension there, so that arm there can drop back down, and this one, shall we say, move further up, so you get that nice curve. That's what you're basically doing. And to be honest with you, there are videos on YouTube that show you professionals doing it, which I would suggest you watch. I'm just going to pull on it again to confirm my draw weights and poundages. Then I'm going to de-string it, I'm going to sand it, and then I'm going to treat it with some boiled linseed oil. I'm going to saturate it, then I'll put it away and forget about it while I clean this mess up. I'll come back to it when it's dried, and then I'll put some arrows downrange in the garden to try it. So yeah, I'm pleased I've got this far. Like I said, I was gutted, and with all those other bows that broke on me, I was doing something wrong. And on top of that, I obviously, as an amateur, as I've said, it's clearly evident that I am. But I am so pleased that I've got this bow out of this, and it's producing a decent draw weight from what I can see. I'm doing this in reverse than most people. Most people will have the actual bow fixed and pull down on the string. I'm achieving that same result by pulling the actual bow and leaving the string fixed. It's in opposite to how most people have demonstrated on YouTube, but the result is the same. So I'm just going to get in position and get this evenly balanced. There. It's a bit of a trick to get that sorted. Right then, I'm going to pull down to 18 inches of draw, and I've got 21 pounds. That basically translates, I need to pull 21 pounds to gain that draw. Down to 20 inches, that's giving me 24 pounds. I'm taking it down to 24 inches, and that's giving me 30 pounds of draw. "26 inches, that's giving me 34 pounds. "28 is giving me 37 pounds. That's 30 inches of draw. That's giving me about 42 pounds. Just do it one more time to confirm. "30 inches, and yes, that is 42 pounds. So I've got a good bow that I can use in the garden, and it's of a reasonably good sized poundage, so there is a fair bit of performance with it. I am so pleased with that. It's obviously not of the draw weights a full English longbow would be. They would be in excess of double, if not in some cases of the Mary Rose, sort of like triple this one. But I shall be able to work with this in the garden and have a lot of fun and enjoy what I've made. And that's all I wanted to do. I will come back and revisit this again and do another bow. But at the moment, with what you've seen in there and how I feel about it, I just want to enjoy this one. I don't want to go back and do the whole making process just yet. It's not me having a cop out, because I will do it and I want to do it, but that was a pretty traumatic and emotional day and a half, and I think I need to enjoy using this one before I go back to making them. Although, like I said, I do want to continue making bows. So as you can see, I've got a reasonably nice flat belly, and it goes into a nice curve throughout the whole back of the bow. So what I'm going to do now is finish sanding all this, get it sanded, not to take out any imperfections. I'm just sanding it now to get it to the point where I can put some boiled linseed oil just to protect it and make it look nice. I've obviously just got to finish off the ends of the bow, and basically I do not want to hurt this bow in any way, shape or form. This is what I need, and this is what I'm going to keep before I actually do something I regret and ruin it. Well then, I've oiled the bow, and I've got it in the rafters drying. Now, when it's dried, I'll probably give it another coat and possibly varnish. I'm not sure on that. But in any case, I'll let that settle, and then what I'll do is I'll get hold of some arrows, and that will be my final video concluding what I've done here with this bow. That will be to video and see how it performs putting some arrows down through my garden into a target. Like I said, it's £40, so there should be a little bit of oomph, so you know I should be able to achieve that quite easily. But in any case, you can quite easily see this project so far has cost me a lot of time, no money, but as I've said before, sometimes time is worth more than money. It has frustrated me, and like I said, I didn't get much sleep last night. But it's done, and I feel really chuffed with it, and I just can't wait to try it. But I'll bring you along for that final instalment, and we'll see what it can actually do. But it's looking lovely. The wood has got a real nice cream colour to it with some darker patches, so it's looking lovely. I've just burnt my logo onto the arm and my initials, and hopefully that bow will serve me many years. But I will be getting some more staves. I do have the bug now, and I will be making myself some more longbows in the future. So that really just leaves me to say take care. It's Andy from Folklore Hiking Sticks.